What's up, sports fans, and welcome back to the Roger Report. We're diving headfirst into the biggest stories hitting the gridiron today. First up, Brett Favre is weighing in on Aaron Rodgers' career, and he's got some thoughts that might surprise you. Then, we'll hear from Schein about a vintage Aaron Rodgers performance that's got everyone talking. But wait, there's more. Brett Favre is back, sharing more of his candid opinions on Aaron Rodgers' championship count. And finally, is Aaron Rodgers ditching a popular weekly show? We've got the scoop. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. NFL legend Brett Favre, surprised? Steelers' Aaron Rodgers hasn't won more Super Bowls. Did you see that opening game? It was electric. But even with a stellar debut, a major talking point is emerging from the league's legends. Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre, a player who knows a thing or two about winning it all, has expressed genuine shock that his former teammate, Steelers signal caller Aaron Rodgers, hasn't secured more Super Bowl victories throughout his illustrious career. Favre, speaking on the matter, stated, "What I'm most surprised by is he hasn't won more Super Bowls, as prolific as he's been." This sentiment from a fellow Super Bowl champion carries significant weight, especially considering Rodgers' individual accolades. He's already claimed one Lombardi trophy with the Green Bay Packers back in the 2010 season, a feat Favre himself mirrored in 1996 with the same franchise. Rodgers even served as Favre's understudy in Green Bay for 3 seasons before taking the reins in 2008. Rodgers' resume is undeniably stacked: 4 MVP awards, 10 Pro Bowl selections, and a spot on the NFL's 2010s All-Decade team. He ranks 5th all-time in passing touchdowns and 7th in passing yards. Yet, Favre remains astonished that with 11 career playoff trips as a full-time starter, Rodgers only has that single championship to show for it. Now, at 41 and with the Steelers, Rodgers kicked off the 2025 season with a bang, leading his team to a 1-0 record after a thrilling 34-32 victory over the New York Jets. Fans are buzzing about Rodgers' continued ability to perform at such a high level, with many wondering if this Steelers team can finally bring him another ring. The debate is already heating up. Is it a testament to Rodgers' individual brilliance or a reflection of the team's supporting cast over the years? Don't go anywhere, because what Schein had to say about Rodgers' performance is pure gold. Next, we're diving into vintage Aaron Rodgers and the performance that has the haters silenced. Rough day for the haters. Schein saw vintage Aaron Rodgers in win over Jets. Forget the doubters, because according to one prominent sports analyst, Aaron Rodgers is back and better than ever. Even those who have championed Rodgers might have been taken aback by his 4-touchdown explosion in the season-opening win against the Jets. At 41 years old, Rodgers delivered a performance that Schein is calling a return to his absolute best. Schein, on his Schein on Sports show, declared, "Rough day for the haters. Aaron Rodgers is alive and really, really well." Aaron Rodgers was absolutely vintage. He was efficient, dominant, using the depth, the talent, the back shoulder vintage Aaron Rodgers throw. That was like Jordy Nelson, Davante Adams kind of memories. That was unbelievable stuff. This high praise highlights Rodgers' ability to still make those signature throws that defined his earlier career, connecting with receivers in ways that evoked memories of his most successful pairings. Historically, Rodgers built his legend on those precise back shoulder throws and his uncanny ability to improvise when plays broke down. While his athleticism has evolved with age, and his receiving core in Pittsburgh might not have the same star power as past offenses, Rodgers managed to involve nearly everyone on Sunday. This performance was particularly notable given the expectations heading into the 2025 season. Many anticipated a slower start for Rodgers, especially coming off an Achilles injury 2 years prior and facing a new team and offensive system under Arthur Smith. Despite not possessing the same rushing threat, Rodgers showed flashes of mobility, making several impressive throws on the run. His connection with his new teammates, even those with less game experience, was evident. The Arthur Smith offense also appeared dynamic in the passing game. While it's unrealistic to expect 4 touchdowns every week, and offensive line and run game improvements are still needed, this was an undeniably strong start for Rodgers and the Steelers. But is that the only legendary quarterback with thoughts on Rodgers' career? Next, we're revisiting Brett Favre's surprising take on Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl count. Brett Favre admits he's surprised Aaron Rodgers only has one Super Bowl win. It seems the conversation around Aaron Rodgers' career is far from over, especially when legendary figures like Brett Favre are weighing in. Favre sat down with us again, and while he's still impressed by Rodgers' recent performance with the Steelers, he's doubling down on his surprise about the quarterback's Super Bowl tally. "What I'm most surprised by," Favre shared, reflecting on Rodgers' remarkable NFL journey, is he hasn't won more Super Bowls, as prolific as he's been. This sentiment echoes his earlier remarks, underscoring a perceived disconnect between Rodgers' individual brilliance and his Super Bowl hardware. Favre, who himself finished his career with one Super Bowl title, clearly believes Rodgers' talent should have translated into more championship success. Despite this lingering surprise, Favre was effusive in his praise for Rodgers' Steelers debut. "The guy, and I've said this since day one, he can still play," Favre insisted. "He can spin it with the best of them. The age is just a number." Rodgers, at 41, certainly proved that point, completing 22 of 30 passes for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns in the victory over his former team, the New York Jets. This performance clearly reinforced Favre's belief that Rodgers still possesses elite-level skills. In a poignant moment during the interview, Favre also took time to remember Tyler Sash, the former New York Giant, on the 10th anniversary of his passing. Favre, who was featured in the documentary Concussed, The American Dream, alongside Sash, emphasized the ongoing importance of raising awareness about the serious effects of head trauma in the NFL. Speaking of how athletes communicate with the public. Next, we're investigating whether Aaron Rodgers is still making his popular weekly Tuesday appearances. So far, Aaron Rodgers has not made a Tuesday in-season appearance with Pat McAfee. NFL fans who tune in for those candid, midweek insights might notice something's missing this season. Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee Show. The first 2 Tuesdays of the regular season have passed without the Steelers' quarterback making his usual guest spot, leading to speculation that Tuesdays with Rodgers might be a thing of the past. Rodgers himself had been somewhat coy about his potential appearances during the season, telling McAfee in July that "we'll see, yeah, we'll see," and deferring to the Steelers' communications director. While his weekly appearances provided plenty of content for sports media outlets, there's a practical argument for his absence. If the primary goal is winning football games, limiting non-essential media obligations makes strategic sense. History shows that extended media spots can sometimes lead to off-the-cuff remarks that become distractions. We saw a similar situation years ago with Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, whose regular radio appearances occasionally generated controversy or issues for the team, eventually leading him to scale them back. For Rodgers, stepping away from the weekly spotlight could help him maintain focus on his performance and the Steelers' objectives, avoiding any potential complications that might arise from unfiltered comments. While this might be a disappointment for those who enjoyed his insights and for media outlets that relied on his soundbites, it's likely a beneficial move for both Rodgers and the Steelers. It allows him to concentrate on his game and maintain a cleaner narrative. However, don't be too surprised if he makes a return to the show down the line, perhaps next Tuesday or every Tuesday thereafter, as the season progresses. That wraps up our news for today. Don't go anywhere, we've got a quick recap and a huge call to action coming right up. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's top stories. Brett Favre is surprised Aaron Rodgers only has one Super Bowl. Adam Schein saw vintage Rodgers in a huge win. Favre shared more thoughts on Rodgers' rings, and Rodgers might be off the Pat McAfee Show. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Rodger Report for all your daily sports news, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment below telling us your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, and follow us on all our social media platforms. We'll see you next time.